Hello everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to the Demon Souls livestream series. It is currently part 26, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to try and not have my hands in the frame because they're phasing in and out of existence. Actually, mainly phasing out of existence, not much in, mostly out. The reason why, and I may as well explain this for the people who for whatever reason only watch the Demon Souls livestreams, I have come to the realization that as long as I sort of compensate with my chroma key settings, I can sort of dim my light. I mean, I knew that I could dim my light. This wasn't like some sort of recent realization that dimming the light was a thing. It's just that in the past I've had issues with dimming the light, thus resulting in my green screen behind me not being properly illuminated, and then I would just have sort of static behind me. The reason why I wanted to dim the light was so that my face wouldn't be, illuminated like I was the second coming of Christ or something. So that was pretty much the logic behind all of that. As you can see, my face is a bit warmer. It's, well, not warmer. How do I say it? I look like a human being, is what I'm trying to say. And that's how I prefer it. It's because the light is not shining as brightly as possible on my face. Previously I thought that to be necessary so that the chroma key could actually work, but as long as I have a strong chroma key setting, it's alright. I was just sort of making sure. It's funny, like I'm got my glass on the wrong side of the microphone. It just looks a bit dumb. Anyway, so in the previous parts, I believe we set up for taking on World 2. Now, I guess I'll set up my chats while I discuss this. I might put my laptop on my lap because, it's a laptop. They are designed to be on your lap. Also, hopefully my head doesn't get cut off at all by the frame. I am sitting in a different chair now to what I have been sitting in for all of my live streams, apart from the one that I most recently recorded, which was yesterday. That was Doomlink's Live Hunts Part 16, which was an audio nightmare. Because apparently I can't level my audio on the PC, which is really good. Anyway, no, it's a bit of a long story as to why I was having problems there, but we're not going to get into it right now. I'm just going to bring up Twitch as well, and then we will be good to go. So yeah, in the previous part we went and set up for World 2 in our strength build. I didn't sound too enthused by the whole strength build thing in the previous recording, and the reason why is because I wasn't too enthused about the whole strength build recording thing. And the reason why is because, and I've discussed this before, I prefer mobility. So perhaps I should therefore go with a more mobile strength build, but I'll do that later. I'm going to stick with a less mobile strength build for now, and I'll do like a fast-rolling strength build in the future. Okay, so Lucas Arins in the Twitch chat says, in Brazil, Artorias renamed from Pernambuco. Pernambuco? I don't really know how to pronounce that. But it's very interesting because, as it turns out, just incidentally, Artorias does not exist in this game, so yeah. We'll say that it's relevant because it's the Souls series, but yeah, he's not in this game, so thank you for that phenomenally random tidbit, but yeah, he's not really going to be appearing in any of these recordings, Mr. Artorias. I do like Artorias, though, he's pretty cool. Anyway, it's a prank, man. I think you need to work on your pranks a little bit, my friend. Anyway, so yeah, I did end up forgetting to pick up the bastard sword in the previous recording, which is funny because how it works is I oftentimes look at comments from this guy. His name is, God, I've forgotten his name now. I just call him, I call him Paul. That's sort of like his English name for Pavel, I think his name is. He's a Russian guy, and he's pretty into this game. And he basically, in the previous part in the YouTube comment section, gave me a bit of an essay as to what was going on in the recording. Now, he's not too interested in the idea of me using a longsword for a strength build. The reason why I chose the longsword was because in World 2, it's necessary to deal piercing damage to the enemies. Now, I can either go for parries and backstabs 100% of the time to deal my damage, or I can do this attack here. I personally prefer to have options beyond simply doing criticals, so that is a thing. Oh shit. I wasn't really watching, I thought maybe I was close to actually stabbing the whatever her name is, the Maiden in Black, but as it turned out, I was not actually very close at all. So what we're going to do is we are going to pick up the Bastard Sword, because while I was not intending on using the Bastard Sword in World 2, it is true that I forgot to pick it up, so we will use that, and whether or not I actually upgrade that weapon to get the Dragon Bone Smasher, or upgrade the longsword, is something that I'm going to have to decide on at some point in the future here. I don't know when I'm going to decide to do that, but we'll have a look and see. Hopefully the audio levels for the game are fine. I'm pretty sure that I have them set to whatever they were when I was previously recording this game. It has been a little while, so I can't exactly remember what the settings were. I mean, I can remember. I'm pretty sure it was like minus 20 dB. You have to understand that it throws me for a loop when every single game that I record has a different volume, so I need to like adjust that. You have to understand that Breath of the Wild is a game that I often record. I generally have that sitting at like minus 15 dB. Then a lot of other games, minus 20. Some games are so loud it needs to be at like minus 24. I think this is like the minus 20 game. I say that because I remember one game requiring like minus 20, and I'm pretty sure it was Demon's Souls, but the point is that they all require different adjustments. And sometimes you can't always visually tell, based on the audio bars, I guess we'll call them, how to, well, what is the most ideal, or what is the most optimal volume. But anyway, ooh, hello. I don't know why I call them volume bars. It has to do with the fact that I can't think of the name right now, but anyway. I got hit with a firebomb, but that's alright. It's all part of the experience when you're going through World 1. We're not going to go through World 1 for very long, you don't have to worry about that. We will just pick up the Bastard Sword and get the hell out of here. Unfortunately, I do not have the convenience of whatever they're called, Shards of Archstone, to get out of here nice and quickly, but that's alright. I wanted to address again my plans to record Dark Souls, because I think that that's important to discuss. Every single time I record Demon's Souls, it feels like several months pass, and I think it's because almost several months pass. It's just that I only started recording this series, I think, when was it? Was it January? I don't know if it was January or February of this year, but it was either late January or early February, something like that. I think it might have been late January. Anyway, the point is, only 6 months have, well, 5 full months have passed. We're in the 6th month of the year, so months between recordings is probably not what's actually happening. Hi, John Renz Natvidad. You say long time no see, and I regret to inform you that I don't remember you at all. But welcome back. It's good to see you again, I suppose, if you're someone who watched me in the past. I am indeed playing Demon's Souls again. It is a rare occurrence these days, but I'm not necessarily intending for that to be the case going forward. I do enjoy playing this game, it's just that I oftentimes get a bit lost in a sea of priorities, you see, so yeah. There are a lot of things that I like to do at whatever given time on my channel, and I guess it just doesn't feel like Demon's Souls is the game that I want to play when I have all of those different things that I want to do. But today I decided, hey, Demon's Souls was what I was going to play, because I already recorded Monster Hunter yesterday, and even though I wasn't entirely happy with how that recording turned out, I decided, well, I'm probably not going to record another one today. I just wasn't really in the mood, so I decided to sit down and play some Demon's Souls, something a little bit different. I suppose one reason as well... Oh, come on, guys. Let's go. Fortunately, shielding that fire did allow me to not get hit by it. Hopefully I have not been getting cut off in my head. I mean, I don't think so. I haven't been moving up and down, so if my head's not getting cut off right now, then it shouldn't be a problem. But, Lucas Arins asks in the Twitch chat, he's the guy who was talking about the Artorias renaming or whatever, he asks, what game do I consider the most hard in the Souls series, or the most difficult? There was a time when I said that Demon's Souls was the most difficult Souls game because you didn't have bonfires where you were able to sort of rest at different positions in the area. So for example, you can go through Dark Souls and you'll get places where you'll recover your Estus flasks and your health, and that can be helpful. But I think that looking at it now, I would say that Demon's Souls is not too difficult in that sense, because the actual Archstone sections are not that long. I suppose the idea is that you need to keep yourself alive through the entire area plus fighting the boss. But having said that, you're not limited to the number of healing wares that you actually have, because you can just go and buy a lot of grass and you'll be alright, whereas with Estus Flasks you do have a limited number of those. So I would say that that's balanced. I'd say that difference is balanced. I wouldn't say that one is more difficult than the other to deal with. One thing that I also would say about Demon's Souls in the past, as far as it being the most difficult Souls game, because that was my belief at that time, that this was the most difficult Souls game. This was back when, well, I suppose Dark Souls 2 had already come out by the time I was making this determination, but regardless, the whole soul tendency thing, or sorry, world tendency. Soul tendency isn't really a problem, but world tendency is a problem. Every single time that you die while alive, the game gets harder and harder. But it only gets harder and harder if you leave. So, yeah, that's kind of how it is for me. A game that punishes you even further for dying repeatedly, by making it even easier for you to die, is probably a more difficult game. But I can't really give a balanced opinion, because by the time Dark Souls came out, I didn't have a problem with the Souls series anymore, because I remember when Dark Souls came out, everyone was complaining about how hard it was. Well, they didn't play Demon's Souls, so because I had played Demon's Souls, there was only a fairly small amount of trial and error that I had to endure in Dark Souls to actually succeed. A lot of those other people, or rather the vast majority of those people, had to undergo the trial and error that you would have to, I guess, undergo in the Souls series in general, like just working out how to play the game, how to handle the combat. That's what was difficult for people. I didn't have that problem. I had problems like crossing the rafters in Anor Londo. Like, Anor Londo was the only place that really challenged me when I first played through Dark Souls. Actually, there was the Bed of Chaos as well. I still to this day can't really one round kill the Bed of Chaos. One round in the sense that, you know, my first attempt, I would kill the Bed of Chaos. I still to this day can't really do it. And when I do get around to actually doing a recording series for Dark Souls, I will most definitely be demonstrating that to you guys. I can't really kill the Bed of Chaos worth a fuck, and it's kind of sad. So Anor Londo and the Bed of Chaos were definitely trial and error locations for me, even having played a lot of Demon's Souls. The point that I'm trying to make here is that I can't really say for sure that this is not the most difficult or the most difficult Souls game, the Demon's Souls game that I'm playing right now, when I look at it fairly, because I underwent. Yeah, underwent is a word. I just never say it. I underwent a lot of trial and error in this game. This game broke me back when I first played it. So it's easy for me to say that this is the most difficult based on that, but yeah, I don't know. I would say that it would have to be between Dark Souls and this game. Dark Souls 2, it's interesting because I find that game to be challenging in a different way. Some people say that it's easy, but I don't find it to be easy. I think that it was specifically designed to be hard. But the way in which they did that was very annoying. They had annoying ways of making the game harder, and it didn't feel as fun to play. I enjoy creative difficulty. I felt that Dark Souls 2 was not creative at all with its difficulty curve. But anyway, I'm going to put away some of this stuff. I don't really need a lot of this. We don't need a broken sword. I don't even know where I picked up the broken sword. Anyway, it said broken, not broad, didn't it? Maybe it was a broadsword. I thought it was a broadsword, and then I read it and it said, yeah, it's a broken sword. Huh. I wonder where I picked this up. I have no recollection of where you actually acquire a broken sword. It must be a random drop from one of those dreglings, I suppose. Anyway, okay, so I probably need to make a decision right now. A Failure and Disgrace says, I found Dark Souls 2 unfun and hard just to be hard. That's exactly right. That is pretty much what Dark Souls 2 was. It took the beauty of what made Demon's Souls and Dark Souls difficult, and it's as if they just couldn't think of a way to make it more difficult when their goal was to make it more difficult. So what they did was they made enemies move at a speed that is just unnatural and looked very stupid so that you couldn't run away from them. They made falling damage extremely ridiculous. Like, you would fall a tiny distance and there goes half your health. You would have the combat system feel very sluggish. Backstabs, yes, I do agree that Dark Souls needed some sort of balance when it came to backstabs. It was too easy to backstab enemies. But the actual solution that Dark Souls 2 came up with was not nice, because it felt like garbage. You had to do this extra animation to pull off the backstab. You had to sort of like almost do this punch animation, and then you'd go into the backstab. Now, that felt like garbage. This was the whole problem with Dark Souls 2. Every single change that they made felt bad. It didn't feel good to play, and that should be the goal of any game that you're actually developing. It should feel good to play, and the entire experience of playing Dark Souls 2, whether it be more difficult or not more difficult, doesn't matter. When you sit down and play the game, it's not smooth. It feels lethargic, it feels slow. I guess lethargic isn't the word. It just feels very slow and plodding, and definitely not smooth. Rough, I guess, but rough doesn't feel like the word that I want to use. So I guess an antonym to smooth wouldn't be what I'm looking for. It doesn't feel like a smooth gameplay experience, I can say that much. But anyway, that's how I feel about it. The devs, which sadly wasn't Miyazaki, just made the game hard because that's what they thought Dark Souls was about. Yeah, that is what they thought Dark Souls was about. And I think they made it very, very clear that they had no idea what Dark Souls was about, because they made a game that, as far as I was concerned at the time, ruined the series. But as it turned out, it didn't ruin the series, because Dark Souls 3 came out. I just didn't play it for the first 2 years of it being out, because I had no faith in it. And I'll get into that topic in a moment, because that's an interesting topic. But for now, I need to decide whether or not I want to turn the longsword into the Dragonbone Smasher or the Bastard Sword. I think I might want the... Oh, then again, am I going to need to kill many trolls if I take on that boss? If I do the shortcut to the Flamelurker, I wouldn't need to kill many trolls, so maybe upgrading the Bastard Sword would be better. But if I'm going to lose the weapon that I'm going to turn into the Dragonbone Smasher anyway, then maybe it would be better to use the Longsword +1 as my upgrade weapon, because obviously, it's a strength build. I'm not really going to get much use out of a longsword. So let's actually choose the longsword as our upgrading weapon. We'll upgrade this thing. Maybe we'll use it for the boss. That's kind of what I'm considering. What would be best for taking on the Flamelurker and the Dragon God? It's the Dragon God because, well, because it's the Dragon God, I don't really need to worry so much about weapon damage. But the Flamelurker, yeah, I'm going to need to worry about weapon damage. I am, by the way, going to try and take on the Flamelurker legitimately. I'm not going to do the stupid exploit. I said that I was going to do one playthrough in this live stream series that was not going to be me cheesing the Flamelurker. This is going to be that recording, this is going to be that run, and it's going to be very painful, and you guys are going to understand why I do not fight the Flamelurker legitimately. I absolutely hate that boss, he gives me the shits. Anyway, so... Sorry, I'm just reading... Oh, finally! Paul, you are finally watching a Demon Souls recording while it's live. Good to see you. I'm not going to upgrade 2 weapons at once. I was just sort of deciding whether or not I wanted to upgrade the Longsword or the Bastard Sword to actually get the Dragonbone Smasher. I have decided on the Longsword because I'm not going to actually get much use out of the Longsword in the long term, so I may as well use it as my stepping stone weapon to get the Dragonbone Smasher. It's very hard to read all of this stuff. A failure and a disgrace says, I skipped 3 because of 2. Exactly, I was the same. I just picked up 3 a few days ago, and I have to say I'm actually having fun despite having my ass stomped. I picked up Dark Souls 3 in, I think, June or... it was between July and August of last year, so it was about 12 months ago, something like that. I picked up Dark Souls 3 at that time, and I've never been happier. Well, saying I've never been happier is probably a bit of a stretch, but the point is that I was not expecting to get so much enjoyment out of it. My expectations were rock bottom, seriously, rock bottom. Let's see if we can actually upgrade the longsword. Just give me a moment to have a look at that. We can indeed upgrade it. We can upgrade it a lot. I'm going to use the longsword to... how much do we have to... I think it's... I don't know if it's +6 or +7 before it can be upgraded to the Dragon Bone Smasher, but I just realized that I'm actually an idiot. The Dragon Bone Smasher isn't a weapon that you upgrade to, it's a weapon that you pick up out of the ground. So what am I on about? What strength-based weapon can I create with a soul? Because I've just gone and upgraded the longsword unnecessarily. Wow, that was a huge, like, mental lapse that I just had. Oh, what weapon am I going to choose to upgrade to the Dragon Bone Smasher? Well, that's a good question, Doomling, because that's not what the Dragon Bone Smasher is. It's not a soul weapon. It's not a weapon created from, like, a soul. It's, like, actually something you pick up out of the ground. You use your brain. Jesus Christ. Well, we're stuck with the longsword plus 4 now. So I guess we're going to have to go with that. God. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going crazy, I think. Alright, so we're probably going to do the shortcut. Maybe it's better to have a fast-moving weapon against the Flamelurker, who knows? I'm going to do 2 attempts at the Flamelurker, as I suppose, test attempts, because I'm not expecting to succeed with the Flamelurker, my first or second try for that matter. What I plan to do is test 2 different combat styles, using my shield and not using my shield. I do have the purple flame shield, so I'm thinking that using the shield might actually be helpful going up against the Flamelurker because it does have flame resistance. It doesn't have like a huge amount of flame resistance, but it does have some flame resistance, so it's not too bad. This is what always fucking happens. I'm trying to target the crystal lizard and I target this moron instead. It's absolutely not what I want. Anyway. Piercing attacks. Notice how he dies very quickly, that's how that works. Anyway, so I guess we'll talk about Dark Souls 3. Now, I've discussed this before on the live stream, but the reason why I had no faith in Dark Souls 3 was because Dark Souls 2 was the game that everyone jumped on the bandwagon with. And so all of these people who started in Dark Souls 2 thinking that it was a good Souls game because they wouldn't know what a good Souls game is, because they didn't play a game before that one. And their preferences when it came to the Souls series were all based around the fact that that was the first game that they played. It's very sad when your first game in a series is a really bad one, because you develop your tastes and interests based on that first experience. It's like that first impression. If you have a bad first impression with a person, they're probably going to have some sort of skewed way of looking at you. I would say that it's the same with a video game. Your first video game in a series is going to affect what you like and what you enjoy. It sort of develops your interests in that way. When you play the game, what becomes natural is what you like. And if you learn how to play the Souls series with Dark Souls 2, aside from the fact that you're going to have a soft spot for the first game that you play in the series, you're going to feel more comfortable with that, because that's what you taught yourself to play. And so all of these people who started with Dark Souls 2 started hailing the greatness of Dark Souls 3. Now, needless to say, if Dark Souls 2 was a garbage game compared to Demon Souls and Dark Souls, then obviously the people who started in Dark Souls 2 having a positive opinion about Dark Souls 3 means close to nothing, because those people don't know what a good Souls game is. So how can I trust them when they say that Dark Souls 3 is good? That was my impression when Dark Souls 3 came out. And so I had no interest in it at all. I didn't even confirm whether or not it was good by even looking at gameplay. All I did was look at a screenshot. I said, oh, wow, the magic, health and stamina bars look terrible. And they kind of do. They don't look amazing. Like, out of all of the visual aspects of that game, the heads-up display doesn't look too great. It could have looked better, but it's honestly not that important. But that was something negative for me to latch on to when I was looking to kind of hate that game. Because it was just, I believed that it would be another example of why the Souls series would no longer be good, why the Souls series would no longer be something that is worth playing. And so, once again, for like the first 2 years of that game existing, I think it came out in 2016, I didn't play it until last year, I actually finally picked it up because I thought, well, I'm sort of willing to play Dark Souls 2 as long as it's on the PC. That's kind of the idea. I decided to pick it up, and I said, okay, let's give it a try. If it's bad, I won't play very much of it, but at least I can say that I tried it, and maybe give people reasons as to why it's bad, because that's what I'm thinking. I can't just, like, say that Dark Souls 3 is bad, just because Dark Souls 2 is bad, and then not have actually played Dark Souls 3. That obviously makes no sense. So I actually played it based on that, and I was really shocked when I played Dark Souls 3, because my first impression was, this game is good. Second impression, this game is Demon Souls 2, because there are so many similarities between Dark Souls 3 and Demon Souls. A phenomenal number. Paul has drawn comparisons between Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2. I do agree that there are indeed some aspects to Dark Souls 2 that are similar to Demon Souls, based on what he wrote in some comment on one of my previous live stream recordings. But the similarities are just, okay, it's like at another level when we're comparing Dark Souls 3 and Demon Souls. They were really, really trying to go for the Demon Souls feel in that game, and I loved it, and I was so shocked and surprised and so happy that it ended up being really good. And they took everything. I would recommend that if you want my like raw, personal, heartfelt opinions on Dark Souls 3, sort of look through my channel videos if you can. The video is called I Love You Dark Souls 3. It's actually in my Doomlink Updates playlist. It's called I Love You Dark Souls 3, and it's like a 30-minute me just pouring my heart out into like how I felt about everything regarding the Souls series. But anyway, so what do you mean I need super bright tendency? What do you mean? Are you talking about... That's a good point. You just raised a very good point. You weren't specific about it, Paul, but what Paul is trying to say in the chat right now is that I'm risking multiple deaths against the Flamelurker when my goal is to take on the Dragon God with the Dragon Bone Smasher available as an item pickup. The Dragon Bone Smasher requires pure white world tendency, so... And I'm not going to have a hope in hell killing the Flamelurker if I have reduced health. Because of course that will be necessary for me to not lose world tendency by dying repeatedly. I would have to be in soul form. But even having said that, I don't want to die unnecessarily now going up against the Flamelurker, because that might put in jeopardy my acquisition of the Dragon Bone Smasher. So therefore... shit. We might have to cheese him. Which is a little sad. But I think we might have to cheese him, because... I want to take on the Flamelurker legitimately. I do. I want to do that on camera for you guys. But I don't think it's going to be in this recording, because it's not going to work. I would have to be in soul form, and I'm not going to put myself at a disadvantage. What you need to understand about me and the Flamelurker. Shitballs, I exited, that was really bad. I like placed my controller on the ground. Not on the ground, on my leg. And I moved forward with an attack. Between me and the Flamelurker, we don't really get along. And the reason why is because I've always... something died. I've always avoided fighting him legitimately. So my abilities fighting the Flamelurker are kind of on par with my abilities at playing the game, like 10 years ago. And when I say that, I have no real abilities to speak of from 10 years ago. I didn't really know what I was doing when I was playing the game. So therefore, I have no abilities when it comes to fighting the Flamelurker. I don't know what I'm doing. I've probably fought him legitimately like 3 times ever. So Essentially, I would have to undergo the trial and error process over and over and over again to learn how to fight him, because I don't know how to fight him. I've never had to, at least not repeatedly, or not many times in the past. So I'm not going to do it in this recording or in this build, because this build is riding on me acquiring the Dragonbone Smasher, and I'm not going to just say, oh, let's take on the Flamelurker and ruin my chances of getting the Dragonbone Smasher, so we're going to not do that. I can do that, Paul, but unfortunately I do not want to... Look, what I'm saying is that I suck when fighting the Flamelurker. I really do suck, so I need as much health as I can get. I'm not going to force myself to fight him with reduced health. That's just a bit silly. And I think I can be better prepared for the fight than I am right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cheese him. And that should be fine. We're going to have Half Moon Grass at the ready. That will definitely be necessary. I have a Ring of Flame Resistance. That's going to be helpful. And that should be it for the preparation. I know I can go back. I'm not going to do it. It's not worthwhile. Alrighty, come on, mate. The Thief's Ring is sort of affecting his aggressiveness, I suppose. Come on, mate. Let's go. I've never seen such a docile Flamelurker. What is going on? Alright, are you on the other side? No, you're not. Okay, I have to reposition myself. There we go. Alrighty. So it's a bit more dangerous to take on the Flamelurker in this way when you don't have some sort of ranged capability. You have to go right in and attack with your weapon. It's not really my preferred way of taking him on, but it is still a way to cheese him, you'll see. You mean the music for the Flamelurker? Come on, mate. What are you doing? I've never seen such a... Okay, let's... I'm gonna have to take off the Thief's Ring. I don't really need it, admittedly. What are you doing? I've fought him with the Thief's Ring on before, and he hasn't been this hopeless, so... I guess, I don't know, Gash Resistance will do that. Come on, man. Don't be a loser. Even with Flame Resistance, and even with... Whoa. This is fucking dangerous, I'm telling you. Be kidding me. Look at this. Okay, if I were to take on the Flamelurker legitimately, there is no way in hell that I would go in with a shield. I can't do that. Look at him. Go away. You are so annoying. And then he jumps back. Holy shit, this guy. There we go. Go behind it. Go behind it. Do your jump back. There we go. Thank you. God. This has been the least cooperative Flamelurker ever. What a prick. Come on, mate. There we go. So, it's not going to take too long to kill him, actually. We're dealing a decent amount of damage with each strike. But yeah. It is possible for him to come around, but should be alright. As you can tell, I think that was a really good demonstration of the fact that running the Thief's Ring is really not the way to go with this guy, if you're planning on cheesing him. It might be the way to go if you're planning on fighting him legitimately, though. Because once again, that docileness... It's actually a word that I'm not familiar with. It wouldn't be docility. Docility isn't a word at all, so it would be docileness, I suppose. Come on. Oh no, he's lost sight of me again. Come on, mate. It's really risky to try and get him to see me again. Come on, man. Why are you moonwalking even? What is your deal? Look at this guy. Well, See, look, as I said, it's really fucking risky to do this. Okay, I need to try and... What are you doing? Heal now. He's so annoying. Alright. Can you get behind there now, please? Get in there, mate. There we go. So annoying. I do, seriously, I mean it. This guy is the least cooperative Flamelurker I think I've fought in memory. So... Do I have some bombs? Do fire bombs even... Like, are they effective against this guy? Guess I could try them. Have some throwing knives? Yeah, I don't have... Wow. I actually don't have fire bombs, apparently, so... Oh, well. Did I must have rolled through that. Oh, come on, mate. Look at this guy! I do get hit by that, so I must have rolled through it, fortunately. Alright, let's get right in here so that he can both see me and then also run into the right position. This is going to take some time, but it's better than failing, I can tell you that much. I will be at pure white tendency taking on... Either taking on the Dragon God or after killing him. That's the point. You don't necessarily need to have pure white tendency when taking on the Dragon God for the first time, but at the very least, when you kill him, it is important to have pure white to access the Dragon Bone Smasher. Oh, come on. There we go. Guess you have to sort of try to catch his arm or his horn or something like that. Okay. Whoop. Come in, man. I guess this is taking longer than it would if I were using magic or something. Come on. I don't think those knives would do anything, though. For one, I don't know if the knives would penetrate this thing. The reason why spells work is because of splash damage, I think. Knives should have a very localized form of damage. And the sword works because the sword, it has some length to it, so it has some reach. But I don't think throwing knives would work at all. Could try. It would be interesting to see how much damage they do if they do connect. It wouldn't be much. It wouldn't be as much as like 88, which is what I'm dealing with my sword at the moment. 10. Yeah. Huh. No. But it did get through. That's a good thing. Oh, to aggro him. Okay. Maybe that's a good idea. But when he needs to be aggroed... Actually, that's a really good idea. If he's actually in a spot where I can target him, then yeah, that would be good. Come in, man. I do apologise to everyone for not being able to take on the Flamelurker legitimately this time. But I will do it, if not in my next build, then in whatever build would work best. I do intend to fight him legitimately. Eventually. This build will not be the build. Ugh. Go for a run, mate. Come on. Strangely inconsistent when you're doing this, but whatever. I don't know if he can punch you through that. I don't really want to find out. That's probably his most damaging attack, that big two-handed slamming attack. I do have decent defense with the Fluted Knight set, but I just don't want to. I will pass. Alright, he is now officially pissed off. He is at that part in his health where you can barely see him. He's just so immolated. Oh my god. It's actually, it's intimidating. Look at how much he is burning. I believe this is the part that really kills me. This is what I have difficulties with. I can sort of handle the Flamelurker when he's not in this mode. When I'm fighting him legitimately. But when I'm fighting him legitimately and he gets to this point, that's when I start having some problems. Like, big time. This is his last hurrah. You can see he does a double. He does two, I guess, I don't want to call them fireballs, like when he punches the ground and it creates a big flame shockwave. He does two of those, and then he does a big double fist. That is guaranteed to kill you no matter what, if all of those connect. And if he's getting you in a stun lock, what do? He only did one there. We're coming towards the end, and I do thank you all for your patience. Come on. Alright. Maybe one more attack? Two at the maximum. Can we do it in one? Nope. One more from now. That's a dead Flamelurker. Fuck you, man. Hate you. Alrighty. So, it's interesting. I'm not used to having this green aura around me. I would assume that that is the gas resistance ring. Or is it the flame resistance ring? Let's have a look. It is the gas resistance ring. Because I never equipped the gas resistance ring, I'm not really used to... Actually, I may as well keep the flame ring on. It might help going up against the dragon god, you never know. Let's go pick up some items, and I will check to see... Like, what's my current Stonefang tunnel? Okay, so... I don't think that'll take us to pure white. It might. I will check. There's no real bit... Well... I don't think so. Paul, I don't think it will be necessary. It may or may not be more helpful to have more health going up against the Dragon God. Well, it depends how safely I want to play this. Let's return to the Nexus and have a look at our world tendency first. I don't know if I really want to play it that safe and die in the Nexus to take on the Dragon God, but I might. It depends how much leeway I have. Let's see. Oh, we're at pure white, so we don't have to worry. We can just go and pick up the Dragon Bone Smasher, because I don't believe that I died in World 2 at any point. I think you can die twice and get the Dragon Bone Smasher after killing the Dragon God, but I didn't die at all, so I can get the Dragon Bone Smasher as soon as we enter. So we will go and do that. I might, well, what's my current strength at? I think you need, like... I had it in my head that it was a 24 strength requirement for two-handing the Dragon Bone Smasher, but I actually think it's 32, so I don't know why. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Did I say two-handing? I meant one-handing. I don't know what I said. Anyway, I suppose we'll go and put all of these points into strength, because why not? So we're not too far away from 32. It is my aim to one-hand the Dragon Bone Smasher. I'm not so much into two-handed gameplay, really. So... Alright, let's go for it. Unless the Dragon God does his trolling flame attack when we enter the room, we should be alright. He might. But we do have the Thief's Ring, so he shouldn't do that. We'll see. I bloody well hope not, because that would really suck. Imagine dying like right in front of the Dragon Bone Smasher like that. We'd still be able to get it. It's just we would have to wait until after the fight, most likely. Actually, no, that's not how that works, because if we didn't return to the Nexus, we'd still be able to pick it up, so... Yeah, because it would still register as being pure white. So let's go and grab the thing now. Hopefully it's not too heavy. I didn't even think about that. I don't believe that I actually have the Ring of Herculean Strength, so shit balls. Can he attack me from here? No, as long as we're hiding here. Alright, time to drop some stuff. Shit. What do I have here? I have... Yeah, it is pure white, as I said before. Look at it. You can tell when it's pure white when it's really got that sort of multicolored look to it. Wouldn't necessarily say multicolored, but it's got more, it's not just, yeah. It shines rather nicely. Try and drop these two, see if that's enough. Still nothing. Or still can't. Drop the mail break. I don't really need that. Oh, it's all of this shit. That's what's weighing me down. Greystone will be useful. We don't need spider stone. We'll drop that. Maybe Dragonstone I'll drop. I don't think I'm going to use Dragonstone. It's a strength build. There we go, Dragon Bone Smasher. Alright, let's not. We can't... Actually, we can equip the Dragon Bone Smasher. We'll just have to do two-handed. We will be fat rolling, though. Oh, we can't even move. If we take off this, can we move? No. Holy shit. Okay, so how this is going to work is we'll use a Dragon Bone Smasher to just destroy the debris in pretty much one strike. There we go. Now we can move. Let's go for it. Just do that and then keep on moving. We'll wait here. I think we're safe. Yeah. Oh, that was dangerous. I don't know how I didn't get hit there. That was crazy. Do I need 2 shields? Yes. Yes, I do. Alrighty. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. Boom. But yeah, using the Dragon Bone Smasher is kind of the best thing about a strength build in this game. I really enjoy the weapon. It's not a sharp blade. Like you just... The sheer weight of it is what deals the damage. It's cool. He can't really attack from this side. I think he can, though. I shouldn't say that. I think he can attack from this side. Or attack this side. However I want to say that. Oh, that hurt. Fortunately, I didn't die. Must be the defense. So I guess at that point, it would have been better if I just kept running. I don't know. Keep moving. He's probably gone and attacked that now, has he? Alright, so this is the Clearstone Crystal Lizard. Don't know why I'm attacking him, but I am. Thank you. Oh, can't even carry it. That's a good point. Well, it's Clearstone. Who cares? Now, the Dragon Bone Smasher is considered an ultra great sword. It is not a hammer. Unless you mean it in some other way. Alrighty. So now we just need to do the final killing strikes on his chin while avoiding the flames. Should be reasonably easy. Oof. One go. Poor bastard. What's our current damage? It is 352. Pretty reasonable. So I'm pretty sure that we used Colorless Demon Souls to upgrade this weapon. So it's pretty annoying that I didn't gain access to Execution Meralda's location, but it's alright. That's pure Dragonstone, by the way. We don't really need that. Not interested, sorry. Alright. So, how are we going for time? How long have we been recording? 49 minutes. We'll continue for another, I don't know, 30 minutes, something like that. We'll see how we go. So, We will probably, I mean, let me think about my souls here. Like, what do I want to keep these for anything? I don't think so. Armor spider. Don't think I want that. Anyway, let's... So the dragon god, you've got Fireball, I think, is the dragon god. You've got Firestorm. You've got God's Wrath. And I think that's it. I don't think you get any weapons from the dragon demon soul. So I think we'll just consume it for souls. I think it will be more useful for us in that way. Yeah, let's go for it. Alright. So we'll definitely be able to one-hand the weapon now. Once we upgrade our... Oh, it's only 30 strength. That's definitely going to be achievable. So we're going to do that, and then we will put the rest of our points in endurance so that we have more equip burden. That will be really important. So, where the hell is the maiden in black? Having to find this stupid lady can get annoying. There she is. Upgrade strength to 30. And then... Vitality is helpful as well because, of course, item burden. This is a heavy item to have in your inventory, but endurance is what we want for now. Because we have some heavy stuff equipped right now. We're going to get you to 20. And I think we'll leave you at that for a little while. So we should be able to at least equip these gauntlets. Still can't equip the gauntlets, son of a bitch. Okay, so we definitely need the Ring of Great Strength. We are going to get that. But, shit. I do not want to die in the Boletarian Palace any more than I already have. I don't think we're going to get pure white in the Boletarian Palace, guys. I really don't think we will. We haven't, shit. So we would need to kill both the Penetrator and King Allen's to have a chance at getting pure white. Of course, I'm referring to Executioner Meralda's area because I really want the fucking Brushwood set. Because if I'm going to have a slow-moving strength build, I may as well get the fucking Brushwood set because it's the highest defense, heaviest armor set in the game. So that's what I was wanting, but anyway. I've already expressed my frustration when it comes to not being able to access Executioner Meralda's area. But who knows? Is it worth... No. No, it's not. I was thinking it might be worth trying to take on the Penetrator now, but no, I would need to kill both the Penetrator and King Allen. I may as well be as strong as I possibly can be to take on both of those guys without dying at all. So it shouldn't be a problem because I'll have the tower shield at some point and all of that. So, let me think. Tower shield requires 50 strength, I believe. Or maybe it's 40. Is it 40 or 50 strength to use the tower shield? Regardless, we are going to need a lot of item burden and equip burden before we use the tower shield, so that's not going to happen for a little while. Regardless of whatever stats we increase in the strength side of things. Well, I guess we'll just stick with this for now, just two-handing the dragon bones. And, oh no, we don't need to two-hand it. But the problem is that using a shield is a bit of a different story. Now these have the same guard break, but the steel shield is a lot lighter. And we can use it, as it turns out. So that would mean that... How heavy are the fucking fluted gauntlets? 6.9. 6. Can you believe that this shield... Okay guys, let's look at it. Let's be sensible. Is this shield really lighter than these gauntlets? Like, really? Are you sure? It's almost a whole unit of weight heavier than the steel shield. doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Whatever makes you happy, Demon Souls. Seriously. I think we'll stick with the Steel Shield for its weight for now. And then, whether or not I upgrade it, I'm not sure. I think the Tower Knight Shield requires Colorless Demon Souls as well, so I think we're going to be really strapped for Colorless Demon Souls. So I think really getting to Execution Emeralda's area is very important as well, because you can get a Colorless Demon Soul there. The main benefit would be getting the Brushwood set, but seriously, that Colorless Demon Soul will be very important as well, I think. So, alright. We'll do probably one more area. I don't know what area it will be, but just something. Something quick, probably. Maybe 4-1, and then we might call it a live stream. It won't be, like, as long-running as I said that it was going to be, but still. I think that's probably about it for me. Just need to decide what I want to do. I'm not in the mood for the Tower of Latria right now, so we're going to not. We'll just take on 4-1, I think. Is there anything in 4-1 that's very interesting? Not sure. Like in terms of stuff to pick up for a strength build, I don't think so. Alright, let's just go for it. We won't do the shortcut this time. That kind of depends on whether or not I just want to avoid all possible failure and just kill the, what's his name? Adjudicator as fast as possible. But I won't be doing that. I'll just go the regular route and take on the gold skeleton. So our steel shield currently has 60 guard break reduction. That's all right. I don't know what it upgrades to. Might be like 80 guard break, something like that. Actually, maybe not. I think the Tower Knight shield is like 85 max. So this wouldn't be 80. Maybe it's like 70, 75. I don't know. I can't remember guard break in this game, really. Like what values are good and what values are bad. Loud birds outside. Do excuse the birds. Oh, God. Getting flinched by these bastards. So that's an interesting thing about Ultra Great Swords. You can flinch enemies and deal damage to them just based on like a proximity effect of your sword slamming down. It's pretty cool. Alright. Might as well pick up all this stuff. And we will also pick up the talisman that's over this way, because we'll be able to swap that for a colorless demon soul, and we'll be able to upgrade the Dragonbone Smasher. And because we do have the Flamelurker soul, we can give that to Mr. Ed, and he will go ahead and upgrade our weapon for us. To be honest, I would say that upgrading the Dragonbone Smasher will be our priority in terms of... Actually, I'm not going to go this way because or maybe we'll kill the archers, why not? They might give us problems. I do plan to kill the... What's-his-face, Mr. Vanguard over there. But yeah. Oh, I hate it when you do that. Missed the backstab, apparently. So to kill both of these guys, I'm going to do the strong attack because it has some... Well, maybe not. I was going to say it has more of a horizontal effectiveness if you have a look at this. See how it has like a sort of diagonal chop? It's good, but yeah, didn't work that time. I have to say that the strong attack of this weapon is really, really good in the sense that you can see that the R1 versus the R2, same amount of time taken to actually do the attack. Let me look at the stamina depletion. Is it just me? I mean, this is the R1. That depletes more stamina than the R2. I hadn't noticed that before. It's either equal, and I'm going crazy, or the R1 depletes more stamina. That's really weird. I don't know. Well, let's go to Sparkly the Crow. That is very strange. I hadn't really noticed that before. Yeah, so I suppose doing the vertical is useful in an area like this, where you don't really want your sword to be touching the sides. Right there, like that. If we do the strong attack, you'll see that it actually bounces off the side there. Whereas this will bounce off the top instead. So, it's a bit better for dealing with people. But of course that, you're away all this time, that's all good. I was just talking about how it's very interesting that the strong attack for the Dragonbone Smasher consumes equal or less stamina than the R1. This is the R1 here, you can see the stamina depletion there. Then watch the R2. I believe that's less. So the R2 actually, yeah, that's definitely less. That's so weird. So, that's, yeah, really interesting observation there that I haven't noticed that before. But anyway, we will drop the, whatever it's called, Talisman of God. Shit, I always do that accidentally. Yes, I will, kill the Vanguard, because why not? It's just a bit of fun. Yeah, it's super weird that it does consume less. Because generally with a strong attack it will take longer to perform the animation, and it will cost more stamina because it's a strong attack, right? But with the Dragonbone Smasher it's the opposite. The time that it takes to complete the animation is about the same, and it consumes less stamina. It's really weird. Don't bloody sign in. Not Miriam. Miriam's the... What build is that? I forgot now. It might be my... Is it my Morian Blade build? Morian? Miriam? That would work. Let's have a look. No, it's my bow build. I didn't even think of that. I should have named my Morian Blade build Miriam. That would have made a lot more sense. Because Morian and Miriam are really similar. It's almost a tongue twister. Anyway. So I did not mean to load that build. That was not my intention. I will not sign in. The reason why I don't sign in is because I'm too lazy to update PSN. So that's kind of how that works. Yeah, I named the Morian Blade build Morian. I forgot. I don't remember these things. Things like naming a Demon Souls character are not things that I pay attention to anymore. I used to. I used to care. Just don't anymore. I used to name my original Dark Souls builds and all of that, but... Oh, stop it. Come on. So is it just me, or did that R1 deal more damage than the R2? I'm gonna fucking experiment with this. Seriously. I'm gonna experiment with the Vanguard. We're gonna see the difference in damage. What if... This is just a thought. What if they accidentally swapped the R1 and R2 for the Dragonbone Smasher? What if this was supposed to be the R2? And this was supposed to be the normal attack? That would make a lot of sense, because we've seen many times before that the R2 would be the vertical. With most weapons, that's how it is. So imagine if they accidentally swapped that. That would actually explain the difference in stamina consumption. And we'll see if the R1 does more damage than the R2. Because I think I just saw it on the Crystal Lizard there, but that looked as if... Okay, so R2, what's that? 216. Let's check the R1. Shit, I can't even get to it. 216 versus 247. It's official. I just died like an idiot, but it doesn't matter. I was too excited there. That was... Wow. So, I think it's confirmed. They accidentally swapped the R1 and R2 animations for the Dragonbone Smasher. Or, not just the Dragonbone Smasher, but perhaps the Ultra Greatsword weapon type as a whole. Which would be really weird. I don't think that that would be their... Why would they do that intentionally? That doesn't make sense. Can I make a combo with both of them? By combo, do you mean like doing this or... Well, let me check the R1 combo. Let's see. Now, there's no real combo. You do a slightly different lead-in animation. So that was the R1. R2 is the... Check that out. Look at that. This is the R2. So the R2's got a combo. They swapped it. How weird is that? How have I never noticed this before? That's so weird. The R2 has a combo and the R1 doesn't. There you go. Really interesting. I will heal myself before I take on the Adjudicator. Actually, I won't. Because you know what? I'm just going to heal myself from killing the Adjudicator anyway, and he's not difficult, so I may as well just cling ring the thing. It's not going to be a problem. May as well save my Stones of Ephemeral Eyes, you know. Alright. That was educational. I guess the, yeah. Oh, too heavy. I do need to put away all that stuff now that I think about it. So you're saying this is a heavy combo? Okay. Well... So it balances out that way. So the first strike of the heavy is less stamina depletion, but if you combo that, it'll like destroy your stamina. Yeah, that's true. That's... So I guess it does balance out that way. It would be really... It's strange, so maybe it was intended. Pick up my soul. Alright, come on, mate. Because the R1 does more damage like that, but I guess because you can't combo it, they decide to... I don't know. So the R1, if you're just going for a single strike, the R1 is the way to go. Fair enough. I would have realised that in the past, it's just I've since forgotten. So I relearnt it, essentially. It's strange that I'm like standing almost directly in front of him, yet he continues to do his slamming animation. Generally, he would swing his axe a bit. Come on, mate. Wow. Just doing it again. And this will probably kill him. Let's finish up with a combo. Nice. Alrighty. That is a dead Vanguard right there. It gives us the Grey Demon Soul, of course. It's not very useful for us because that creates the Dozer Axe. You could technically... You know what? Using the Dozer Axe would only really make sense with a build like this, but it's not a very good weapon. I wish the Dozer Axe were a better weapon, but it's not, so... I mean, I could sort of... I could force myself to remain in denial and say, oh, it's a great weapon, I use it all the time. It looks cool, but it's just not... It doesn't really match up to anything else. Especially not the Dragon Bone Smasher. So, maybe we could get the Dozer Axe for fun. But it would require some materials to actually make it, so... I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to piss off the Black Skeleton by taking the Archer on, so I guess we'll say hello to the Black Skeleton first. Alright, you going to do your jump? Yes, you are. That should flinch him, yes. Oh yeah, one benefit to this attack is that it sends them flying. Ooh, it did not send you flying because you decided to have fucking... No! Oh, you prick. Such a prick. Really bad timing. I should have known that he was going to do that attack at that time, because it was really frickin' predictable. I was too busy trying to send him flying with the R2, but that did not happen, because he decided to be completely resistant to that when he was doing his combo. Doesn't make sense to me. Oh, can I send you flying, please? Thank you, dickhead. Fucking skeletons. Anyway. So yeah, the R2 is pretty fun.
when you can send people flying. So I guess it really is the strong attack if it can send people flying. I don't know. It's not a matter of not being used to the weapon. It's just I was not paying attention. Alright. So I suppose the R2 is indeed the strong attack. Just wasn't too sure what they were doing there. How are you alive? I'm gonna punch you to death. Fuck you. Get out of my face. That was pretty funny. Imagine if the Vanguard respawned. That would be sad times. I'll tell you that much. One thing that I wish was the case was the... I wish the Grey Demon Soul gave you more souls, because you don't really use it for the Dozer Axe, because it's not a good weapon. So it would be nice if you got more souls from consuming the Grey Demon Soul. But I'm probably going to use it for the Dozer Axe in this game. Or in this playthrough, I should say. Come on, mate. Let's go. And then you decide to not do your big jump attack this time. Asshole. There we go, send him flying. Just went over the wall. I'm sorry, mate. Sorry, but not sorry, actually. Because I hate you. Alright. Then we'll do a follow-up. There we go. Asshole. Shard of Bladestone. This archer didn't present too much of a problem. The Adjudicator shield is probably going to be too heavy for us to pick up, so I'm going to not pick it up. It's the shiny in the corner there, if for whatever reason you're using this as a walkthrough. But, yeah. It shouldn't be in the hammer category. It's in the very large sword. So, I'm using the wrong terminology. It is Ultra Greatsword, but in the game, they call it Very Large Sword. So, Very Large Sword is like... yeah. How they refer to Ultra Greatsword. So, that would be the same with the actual Greatsword weapon. I think you've only got 2 weapons in that category here. Messages are being automatically held for review again because you said dick. I really need to get into that and change it. Just turn off auto moderation in general. I really wish that this guy's sword... oh my god, that was really bad. That was a bad combo. I had the Ray behind me attack me. And then this guy hit me as well. I'm pretty sure this weapon here was planned to be a weapon that we could use. Really funny that we weren't able to use this weapon until, like, Dark Souls 3. Alright, I'm going to pull you, like, over here where there's actually a battleground. Because that cliff face right there is not good. Yeah, come on, mate. Let's go. Make it easier for me. Alright. But yeah, using that weapon would be really fun. I would say that's probably... that would be like a quality weapon, probably. The meat cleaver shouldn't be a quality weapon. They should have made that the quality weapon with the A scaling with both. Because like the meat cleaver, I mean, is it really like a dexterity looking weapon? I don't think so. Whereas this looks like you need to be sort of dexterous with this thing. And it would be really cool if you two-handed the thing, you'd grip that other handle. That would be so cool. Man, they really botched that. I bet they were intending on doing that too. I'm pretty sure that there was a weapon design in the game files, which was that weapon. But... you've got to be kidding me. Holy shit. That is bad. That's not okay. I'm walking along the cliff face. I intend to target the skeleton in front of me. I instead target the Ray who's like over there. What happens? I go straight off the fucking edge because I've got no space. I didn't even have a chance to react to that shit. That's so bad. This is not okay. Okay, if there had to be something that pissed me off about this game that actually is not okay, it would be that. This is not acceptable at all. It's ridiculous. Oh my god. Anyway. Like, let's be real. There has to be some sort of intelligent design in the game to know what I'm intending on targeting. Obviously, I was not intending on targeting something over there, as opposed to something directly in front of me. Like, please. I need to be so careful. We will continue to go that way. I don't mind going that way. I will accept the death with the black skeleton before, because that was my mistake. But that second death was just not okay. Actually, that's my third death. I died to the Vanguard before. This is probably, yeah, this has been the worst performance on camera that I've ever had in World 4-1. How about that? It's not really much of an achievement, but I thought I'd say it. Oh, seriously, I'm not impressed about that. But we'll go again. That's the soul's way. Keep trying until you succeed. Alright, come on. Backstab you. It's really weird to stab with something this thick. Or something this wide, whatever you want to say. I'm pretty glad that I can shield that. It's hard to avoid. Alright, let's go for it. Hate this guy. Because he actually ignores that strike. We're gonna go again. I think he actually went for the attack there. Did you see that? He might have actually gone for the attack. I don't know if that was him getting up and his sword's pointed towards me, or if he was actually gearing for an attack. If he was gearing for an attack, that would make that black skeleton like a real nightmare. Once again, I'm intending on targeting this guy, and I target this fucking thing. Like, go away. Seriously. Not a fan of that business. Alright. Keep getting attacked. I'd love to kill you guys. But I can't. I have no means of doing that. I mean, I had the Thief's Ring on. Imagine if I didn't have it on. It would be even worse. We're going to just get in there and... Ooh! That was a bad maneuver right there. That was... Holy balls. Yeah, he wasn't going to do that follow-up in time. I knew he wasn't. I forgot that the two-handed R2 was that. And not like a diagonal sweep. Fuck. It's not what I was going for at all. Can you... You're really annoying, mate. Seriously. Okay, go for it. Alright. One strike, apparently. It was scary. It was, like, not okay. Alright, you need to die as soon as possible. Let's go, mate. I honestly didn't think that their attacks were going to get deflected. Did you fucking see that? Again, I was at risk of death because of that stupid ray, but in a different way this time. Way ray, that rhymes. I can hear that. So... whatever I was doing was interrupted because I got flinched by that stupid attack. Alright, so we're going to do this again, and this time we're not going to target anything, because apparently that's, like, not okay. This is dangerous. Because... I didn't know that there were 3 of these guys. Anyway, what have we got? Soul Remains. So many cool things that a golden skeleton could drop, and they just give you nothing. It's like Soul Remains. Thanks. Anyway. Fuck that. It's so much faster to take the shortcut, but anyway. Now that's the Grave Robber's Ring over there. Yeah, we'll take it. I think I will need it later on because I do need some colourless demon souls. And I'll probably beat the shit out of Sell in Vinland and whoever else. Because the thing with Sell in Vinland, I was having some serious problems with her in my previous build. Was it my bow build? Bow only build? Whatever it was. What was my last build? Can't even remember. Shit. Anyway, whatever build I was doing it was the bow only build, yeah. So, that build where I was taking on Cell and Vinland, that's proof. He was getting up to attack me that time. Terrible. Really bad. Okay. Alright, now for this vertical. Arsehole. Can't carry whatever he dropped. It's probably... Ooh. Wouldn't be soul remains. I am absolutely at my limit. What are we at? Yeah, 96 out of 96. Cannot pick up anything else. Okay, so... Well, we can pick up things that don't have weight. Like, boss souls. Oh yeah, I will not be using the meat cleaver in this playthrough. Because it's just one of those weapons that you can just have and you win. It's too overpowered. I will use it with my quality build. Because it is a quality weapon. It feels like a shame to only make use of one of the scalings. That's the point. So I will try to only use it with a quality build. It sounds weird that I would opt for a fucking dozer axe instead of the meat cleaver, but anyway. Obviously I'm a sad person or something. There we go. Oof, look at that damage. Yummy. Can we get one more in? Oh, he's so close. Is he dead? Nice. That was much faster than I was expecting. Yeah, I know. The meat cleaver is insane. I would prefer to make use of both S scalings, though. It would just feel better. That was 3. So we don't have Grave Robber Blige here, but that's alright. Guess we'll go and return to the Nexus with what we have. It's a decent number of souls. And, yeah, we do have a colourless demon soul, so we can... Let's get this Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, one moment. But yeah, we can go and... what don't I need? Dark Moonstone I don't bloody need. We'll drop it... No, drop it here. Getting attacked by rays, I need to, like, not die or anything. Yeah, needless to say, I'm not going to get much use out of Dark Moonstones, so... Rightio. Okay, so... What we'll first do is upgrade the Dragon Bone Smasher once. Doesn't really need to be upgraded, but we're going to do it anyway because overpowered for the win. And the reason why I do it first is just so that I know that I have enough souls to actually do it. Because that is the priority right now for me. Then I will use the remaining souls to level up. Now, I don't know what we need to create the Dozer Axe. I feel like I'd want to get the Dozer Axe as soon as possible because it's going to become obsolete really quickly, so yeah, I don't know. Oh, the last one was Windmill Rapier, that's true. You mean for this build? What's the next shield and armor? I'm going to stick with Fluted Knight until I can get the Brushwood set. The next shield will be the Tower Shield. But the Tower Shield will not be for a while because that has a really high strength requirement. I think it's like 50 or something, so... Yeah. So we need to first give Ed the Flamelurker Soul. So we just need to exhaust his dialogue. When he's going, that's his dialogue exhausted. Then we give him the Red Hot Demon Soul. Now he can upgrade the Dragon Bone Smasher. So it only requires 200 souls, so yeah. We don't get a scaling increase. Actually, I don't think the Dragon Bone Smasher ever gets a scaling increase. One interesting thing to mention is that with scalings you can get an increased scaling without the actual level changing. So you could get a better scaling across different B scalings. So it's just not enough for it to become an A scaling, but there are incremental differences that aren't necessarily reflected by whether it's B or A. It doesn't necessarily change, but it can actually become better. So let's say, for example, that, and I think this is the truth, a +5 Dragonbone Smasher remains at a B scaling. I think it will. The B scaling will not actually be the same. It will be a slightly better B scaling each time. It just won't become so good that it crosses over into an A scaling. So that's a little tidbit for you. Evil Knight set from World 3-2. That is the... What's it called again? I mean, it's Yurt's armor set, but it's got a name. The Gloom set. I'm not really interested in the Gloom set. I find the Gloom set to be a more balanced armor set in terms of weight. I use the Gloom set for my Windmill Rapier build, actually. It's lighter than the Fluted Knight set. And I'm going for a slow-moving strength build, like maximum defense. So getting the Gloom set would be much faster than getting the Brushwood set, for the simple reason that I can't access Execution Marauder yet. And I probably won't be able to access her until after I kill the False King, which is going to take a while. So, yeah, I would get the Gloom set if that were comparable, but I don't think it is. So, yeah. Let's not. I'm going to stick with either the Fluted set or the Brushwood set. That is the plan. So what we will do is consume any of this stuff. The Gloom set is good if you're trying to manage your equip burden, but I'm not. The idea is to have as much defense as possible at the expense of our weight, and then sort of counterbalance that with lots of endurance and whatever else. Alright. So we'll go and consume all of these. And then we'll re-equip our grass. I'm not going to equip Crescent Moon. I think that has now become obsolete. And I guess we'll... Just thinking of what stats to upgrade. Not too sure. I must keep disconnecting and reconnecting in the Twitch chat, because I keep getting welcome to the chat room popping up for me, so whatever. We're going to keep strength at 30 for now. Don't know if we'll need dexterity for anything. Probably not. That's right, I want to increase endurance to 25 now. And that's it for my upgrades, apparently. So we should be able to use the Fluted Knight Gauntlets. Let's, well, I guess we could use a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes to heal ourselves. Okay, we're going to do one more thing before we finish up here. And that is get the Ring of Great Strength, because this is ridiculous. Alright, let's go and kill ourselves. You don't have to go that high in the Nexus to die. Just going to drop here. I love dropping from the top of the Nexus, it's really fun. But this is pretty damn high as well. Look at this. Doesn't take long to get really high. Woohoo! Ah! Alright, so we're going to go and get the Ring of Great Strength. It's very important that we don't die while alive in World 1, because otherwise I seriously will not be able to access Execution Marauder at any point, so yeah. Let's go and, I guess, grab that now. Would have been good to do it when I went back to get the bastard sword, but guess I didn't think that far ahead. In fact, I did completely forget. Ooh, I'm a little hungry. Yeah, I will have to go in 10 minutes anyway. I wasn't even watching the time, but yeah, I do have to go to work later, so that is a thing. Oh, my head is getting cut off. Whoa. Let's fix that. Is my head getting cut off? Nope, that looks alright. Yep, that should be fine. Hungry again. It's nearly 2 in the afternoon and I haven't eaten today. Oh shit. Of course I'm hungry. It's not like I'm opposed to eating breakfast, it's just that I went to sleep a bit late last night. So I woke up late. Because I do night shifts, you see. So it's all about going to sleep in the early morning. I forgot to put all this away again. Fuck. So annoying. I'm annoyed with myself. I just keep forgetting to do that. Anyway. Yeah, hungry as always. Always hungry. Hungry? Hungry when recording a stream. The only time that I'm not hungry... Stop saying hungry! Speak English. Anyway, yeah, the only time that I'm not hungry is when I'm, like, recording Breath of the Wild in, like, the evening. I've probably either had a lot to eat during the day by that point, or I've already eaten dinner or something, so... Yeah. I don't always record Breath of the Wild in the evening, but if I am recording anything, it's usually that game in the evening. So... That's the thing. I kind of hate going through this area because you have to kill all the enemies on the bridge. It's pretty annoying, actually. There we go, that's what I was hoping for. It's actually not so annoying when you have a weapon like the Dragon Bone Smasher because you can just watch this. Oh, damn. I was hoping to get all 4 of them. You can just sweep them like that. It's really cool. I want to try and hit as many of them as possible. Let's try to do that. Don't firebomb me, mate. Right, let's have a party, guys. Let's get together. Actually, that's a good thing to do. I could do the spin attack. Let's try that. Alright, come on, guys. Don't trap me now. We need to go towards these fellas because they are a little bit more shy, you see. Alright. I'll heal myself. Come on. Heal. They're spreading out now. This is not what I wanted. God, why am I doing this? Anyway, I'm just trying to hit as many people as possible. Look, the archers aren't together now. I'm pissed off. Only got 3. Disappointing. Anyway. Still look badass. Yeah, I do love that. That's one really great thing about a fast-rolling Dragon Bone Smasher build, because you can just, like, fast-roll into this attack. It's really cool. That has to be one of my favourite weapon animations in the Soul series. Is that fucking twirl. It's really cool. Alright. Oh! Nearly firebombed me in the face. Oh, hit him through his shield and almost killed him. We shouldn't have too many problems getting the... whatever it's called, the Ring of Great Strength if I am willing to die. I will be pretty pissed off if I do fail here. I only have like 6 minutes left. Or 7. Alright. That was me being an idiot, actually. Don't mind me. Stop. So both dragons are here still. Not too great. We might just sacrifice ourselves. Let's sacrifice ourselves. Don't do that, please. Yeah, let me fall there. That's good. Allows me to get out of their way. Should I waste Crescent Moon? Oh, that's makes me feel a bit unsafe. Yeah, dealing with these 2 dragons... Well, dealing with the first one is doable, but the second one can be a nightmare. Shit, why am I having so many problems with the first one? Generally, I'm alright with him. Let's try again. Right, should be good. So we're just going to sacrifice ourselves here. There we go. I have succeeded in picking up that ring without dying before. Just don't remember how I did it. That's something that I'm not sure about. But yeah, that fucking tail. Between avoiding that tail and avoiding the red dragon's fire, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Anyway, I thought that the red dragon would have left by now. And I thought he would have stayed in World 1 too, but no. It's not something that he decided to do. Alright. So now that we have the Ring of Herculean Strength, no, Ring of Great Strength. I should get the Ring of Herculean Strength as well. That's going to be really useful. So, do I have the Jade Hair Ornament? I should. Is it here? I mustn't have the thing. Shit. What if I haven't cut down? I don't think I... Oh, shit. Let's have a look. I'm just going to have a look. I don't have the time to just go and get the Jade Hair Ornament right now. I'll do it in the next recording. But I'm just going to check. I will be pissed if the bodies haven't dropped. Do I have the Ring of Great Strength equipped? I do. Let's go and put on the gauntlets now. So with 25 endurance and the Ring of Great Strength, we should be alright for now. Thank God the bodies have fallen. Thank God for that. I know that, but I'm trying to, like, finish soon. I know where they are. Alrighty. So we'll go and give the Jade Hair Ornament to Mr. Stockpile Thomas, and we will, in the process, store our stuff, which is something I keep forgetting to do. Oh, and then, yeah. We will acquire a very useful ring. Which is oftentimes like a requirement for getting the Tower Knight shield. Because that thing is so heavy. Yeah, that should be enough. So we'll just exhaust his dialogue.
As I keep the candles.
Really? That's all you have to say? What's your deal?
Hello again. I'm keeping.
Hello again!
When I
Come on.
Saints, this I. What is the world with perhaps at least? Perhaps it at least. Perhaps it won't.
Okay, there we go. Why does his...
Perhaps it won't be.
Why is that not capitalized? Perhaps is not capitalized. Why?
At least that is what.
Anyway, that was the start of his sentence. I don't want to touch the demon inside of you. I want to talk to this guy.
That hairpin. Then she didn't make it. May I ask you a favor?
It's so sad, actually.
Giving up that hairpin.
Because Stockpile Thomas is a really nice guy.
It's not, but it's.
I'm sure his daughter dying is quite a very sad thing as well. But anyway, let's, well, we don't need to equip it now, but yes, we do have it. That's a good thing. Hi, Caitlin. You joined literally right at the end of the stream, but hello. Do I want to consume any of this stuff? I'm not going to get the meat cleaver, so we'll consume this. That's me saying no to the meat cleaver. Tower Knight is for warding. What else? Not sure. Whatever, we'll leave it at this for now. I'll need to check the uses of the souls. Just in case there's some weapon that I've forgotten about. You never know. Anyway, we'll go and level up again, I suppose.
Soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel.
Well, calling him a coward's pretty easy, but it seems like a pretty horrendous world to live in. Let's see. I guess vitality. Is that what we want? Yeah, we'll just put a point into vitality. Alrighty. So that's about it for this live stream, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. It's good to be back in Demon Souls again. I don't know when I'll next be recording, but we'll see how the week progresses. Probably not, actually. Like, the next time I record will probably be a while again in the future. Maybe after 2 weeks, something like that. And I do apologize for having other things that I would prefer to record aside from Demon Souls, but recording Demon Souls is still important to me, and I do intend to make it a pretty long-running live stream series. It's just I do have a lot on my plate at the moment. So I do thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all when I'm next recording Demon Souls, and if you don't just watch my Demon Souls stuff, then I'll see you when I next record something else. Goodbye for now.